Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is another video in the series of the things narcissistic people say to gaslight our reality. And one of these things is, you misunderstood me. Which, as we are well aware, people can misunderstand each other. We can misunderstand other people and people can misunderstand us, usually why we have some form of communication, some sort of debate, why we explain ourselves to others and others explain themselves to others, so that we can gain that understanding, so that we can learn from each other and grow from each other. So when a narcissist comes at you and you're unsure as to what narcissism is and what they're doing to you, when they come at you and say, you misunderstood me, you try to understand them, not realizing that not only are they committed to misunderstanding you, they are committed to making you misunderstand them so that they can get away with their behavior. So this video is going to explore more on the reasons why narcissistic people say you misunderstood me and how they get you to misunderstand them all the more. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when a narcissist has promised you something or done something or said something that you know but you don't know, so you go to communicate this with them and they turn it round onto you and say, you misunderstood me. From your point of view, you're waiting for an explanation of why you've misunderstood them, a conversation, some form of communication to work together to gain that understanding of them so they can gain that understanding of you and so that you can develop and learn and grow together. To a narcissist, they're making a statement that you've misunderstood them. They're trying to persuade you into believing you're the one that's in the wrong for not understanding them. They're trying to influence you into believing you're the one with the problem because you're the one that didn't understand them. They're not looking to communicate this with you. And usually they're not looking to communicate this with you. Like many things, when people jump on the defensive within life, it's usually due to some form of fear. A narcissist might be fearing exposure for their behaviour. They might be fearing the feeling of feeling shamed for their behaviour, fearing being humiliated for their behaviour, a fear of being abandoned for their behaviour, a fear of being criticised, a fear of being judged, because they want to see themselves as perfect. So to them, anything that goes wrong is somebody else's fault. So they're saying you misunderstood me to distract you from the truth of the fact that you understood them perfectly well. They said or did something and they don't want you to know that they said or they did it. So if they can claim you misunderstand them, they're placing the blame at your door. However, because you didn't misunderstand them, they're not going to take the conversation any further. What they're going to do if you try to take the conversation further is confuse you. They've already started invalidating your memory, invalidating your thoughts, invalidating your feelings by claiming that you misunderstood them and then not taking the conversation any further. If they do take the conversation further, they confuse you. They might project onto you, which is a mixture of their blame shifting and gaslighting. So they're going to blame you for the things that they did. They're going to gaslight your reality, so you're not sure as to what actually happened. That's when they're going to come at you with phrases of, I never said that. If only you hadn't. So that they can pass the blame over to you so that they don't have to be held responsible or take responsibility for their behaviour, and so that you can't hold them accountable for their behaviour because you're the one left questioning your own behaviour. They're going to bait you any way they can, usually by shifting the blame and by projecting on you to get you to defend yourself to them. By them getting you to defend yourself to them, they no longer have to defend themselves to you. They've placed the shoe on the other foot, and now they're in charge of the conversation because they're asking you the questions, they're accusing you of things, they're getting you to justify and explain yourself to them so that they don't have to explain or communicate with you. They're going to bait you and use your emotions against you. When a narcissist suffers a narcissistic injury, when they feel criticism in some way, they are going to go on the defensive and they are going to hurt you either psychologically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, sexually. They are going to hurt you in some way to feel better about themselves. And then once they've hurt you, they're going to provoke you emotionally to emotionally react, emotionally respond to them. Once you've emotionally responded to them, they're going to turn that into your reaction, which is a reaction to their behaviour, and then they're going to use that reaction against you to blame you for their behaviour, so that you are misunderstanding them and they are misunderstanding you. At some point, we have to learn to stop explaining ourselves to those who are not only committed to misunderstanding us, but are also committed to creating that self-doubt within our mind so that we misunderstand them. When all else fails with a narcissist in communication with them, when they've come at you with things such as, there's plenty of things they come at you with, but when they've come at you with things such as, you've misunderstood me, and they go through all the gaslighting and projection and blame shifting and invalidation, they are going to jump on the word salad, which is a part of gaslighting and projection. They are going to invalidate you. They're going to intimidate you. They're going to talk over you, not let you state your point of view. They're going to take the topic of conversation around in circles. They're going to criticize you. They're going to judge you. They're going to bring somebody else into the conversation. They're going to triangulate you. They're going to change the subject on you. They're going to do all they can to distract you, because to them, they did what they did. They don't want to get found out about it. They want to tell you, they've made their statement, that you've misunderstood them. And that should, to them, that should be enough for you. They don't want you coming at them with more, because you might then expose them for who they are. They don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to let others see their weaknesses. They don't want other people to see that they're envious of others or that they're trying to destroy others. They're covertly trying to hide this from people, often with the words they use to gaslight people, to distract people, to get people to question themselves, to get people to blame themselves, so that the narcissist can continue to get away with their behaviour without any consequences for their behaviour. And while there's no consequences for their behaviour, they don't learn from their behaviour. And with most narcissists, even when there is consequences to their behaviour, they're still blaming somebody else for it. So because they're still blaming somebody else for it, because they're still in that victim mindset, they're not going to change their behaviour, because they don't recognise themselves as having any sort of problems. We all make mistakes in life. We all have issues that we have to work through in life, and somebody who is willing to recognise the mistakes they make, someone who is willing to recognise that they're not perfect, somebody who's willing to recognise there is issues that occur in life that need to be dealt with, they are perfect for a narcissist, because a narcissist can easily manipulate the blame onto that person, because that person's willing to take responsibility for their own behaviour, not recognising that the narcissist is gaslighting them into taking responsibility for the narcissist's behaviour. Things you can do: number one, no contact is always the best approach. You are not going to win with these people because they don't see themselves as the problem, and they're always trying to get one over on somebody. They're always trying to bring people down to feel better about themselves. You cannot help those who are willing to exploit other people and who lack empathy to care for how their behaviour affects other people. If you can't go no contact, limited contact and grey rock. If they are coming at you, retreat, rethink, and then only respond if you need to do so. Because even when you state your point, if they don't want to recognise your point, they ain't listening to you. They're going to go all out to misunderstand you and to get you to misunderstand them. So retreat, rethink, see the game that they are playing, recognise why they are playing it, what are they fearing, see them for who they are, listen to your instincts. You're not misunderstanding them. You heard them say what they said. They just don't want to follow through on what they said. Therefore, they're going to turn around and say, I never said that. You misunderstood me. You took it the wrong way. You didn't. They just promised you something, failed to deliver, and they want to blame you for their failures. If you really need to state your point, state it once to get it out of your system, to almost mind dump your point, but don't expect them to take your point on board. State your point of view once and then leave them to it. What they do with it is up to them. You've got it out of your mind. You've dumped it. Move on from it. Don't defend yourself to them. Don't explain yourself to them. Don't justify yourself to them. This is what they want. They want to get you explaining yourself to them so that they don't have to explain themselves to you, and so that they can use your explanations against you to provoke you into reacting to them, so that they can blame you for everything they do wrong. Arguing back with a narcissist does not beat a narcissist. They are after that attention. You win a narcissist's games by walking away and no longer playing them. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a learning curve. However, it is worth it. If anyone has any thoughts on the video, please do add those into the comments. I shall link the resources in the description to the video on narcissist rhetorical questions, why they won't answer a question, why they don't see themselves as being in the wrong, and why we need to stop explaining ourselves to them, as well as the playlist on projection and gaslighting that explains more on those. I shall also link into the description the sponsored link for BetterHelp and the online courses that I have available. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Remember, you are enough. You found the coping strategies to survive the relationship with them, or if you're still with them, to survive the relationship you are in with them. You will find the coping strategies to leave them and to survive recovery. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.